and welcome back to more Super Mario Kart, where last time we played through the Mushroom Cup on 50cc, and today we're going to be playing through the Flower Cup on 50cc. We're going to be playing as Luigi, since we played as Mario last time, may as well go for Luigi next. And you may have noticed I went back to go and place for to get a gold ranking, or to get a gold place, excuse me, to finish first essentially in the Mushroom Cup, because I was very unsatisfied with my performance, because, I mean, we did pretty good for the first two courses. Then Ghost Valley kind of kicked our ass, and then we made up for it a little bit in the end, but we still only finished second overall. So I wanted to go back and try to fix what I'd done wrong the first time and get a gold ranking, because I did a little bit of research, and it turns out to unlock a special cup, you actually have to finish first in the Mushroom, Flower, and Star Cup in order to even get the special. Oh, this is gonna be annoying. The off-road texture here might get on my nerves a little bit. But yeah, that's what you have to do. Is you have to finish first in the Mushroom, Flower, and Star Cup to unlock a special cup. And I want to get a special cup because obviously I want to play all the cups the game has on all the CCs you can play them on. So we're gonna try our best to finish first. If I don't get them on camera, that's fine. I'll just go back off camera to finish up what I didn't get the first time. But I would like to try to do it all in one shot. Although that's easier said than done with the game's controls. Because I mean, like I said, they're not that bad compared to what they could be. I kind of expect them to be way worse because the game came out in 1992, and I just kind of like assumed that the game wouldn't control very well, and it doesn't control very, like, to be clear, I still don't think the game controls all that well, and that's not even, because I guess it could also be that the only games I've played are Mario Kart Wii and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, so given those are the only two games I've played, and they both control very, very smoothly. It could just be that I'm just not used to this, but I really don't think. I mean, I'm gonna see here what you guys think. I should have asked last time. Do you guys think this game controls well, or do you think that it shows its age? Because I think this game very much shows its age. Like, we finished first there, but we are in 50cc, so it's not much to be proud of. I'm slowly getting more used to the drift, and like I said, I'm in this weird middle ground where I don't think it's aged well. And I still think the controls are kind of sloppy, but also considering what I thought they were gonna be, it's not that bad. Like I'm having a pretty good time, apart from the occasional annoyance and apart from Ghost Valley just existing. Really, I think I'm still having a pretty good time. And ask and thou shalt receive. Here's Ghost Valley. I'd speak of the devil. I think, by the way, this is the one. I think I might have said last episode that I burned out. Damn it! I shouldn't. You know what? I shouldn't have burned out. I don't know why I didn't. You know, well. But I should have. I think I said last time that the Ghost Valley, the one we played last time, was the one from Mario Kart Wii. I do not know what's up with red shells in this game. They just do not home in on people. But if I did say that, I was incorrect. I believe this is the Ghost Valley, because I'm pretty sure all the courses in this game are just variations of each other, where it's just like Mario Circuits 1, 2, and 3, or Ghost Valley 1, 2, and 3, and Bowser's Castle 1, 2, and 3, etc., etc., as opposed to that was dumb. As opposed to the rankings, as opposed to the more varied tracks from other games, which again, that I'm not gonna hold that against the game, because that's obviously just, you know, chalking it up to it being the first one. So you're not gonna really hear me tear into this game too much, because like I understand that it's a product of its time, it shows its age. So I'm not expecting some next gen masterpiece here. And honestly, even with this kind of lackluster controls, I'm still having a good time. I am still very much enjoying the classic Mario Kart action, even if it's definitely feels like the first game of the series, you know what I mean? It definitely feels like it's the one where they just were trying to find their footing with how to get a hang of things. That said, still don't like Ghost Valley. In Mario Kart, don't know about that one. So can I please stop turning into the thing? Thank you. I feel like even if just like one part of your car is off the platform, you're just gonna fall into the hole. It doesn't feel very forgiving, as in, like, if even one tire is in the hole, you're just going in, and you can't stop yourself. It's kind of like a binary thing of, if you're even slightly off the track, you're going down with no chance to save yourself. Which, not a huge fan of that, but it's fine. We made it through. I mean, granted, I had to abuse the rewind feature. Well, I say abuse. I used it. I don't know that I'm abusing the rewind feature. I'm gonna try not to use it too much. Like, I don't wanna use the rewind feature as a crutch. I might have to, if it gets too hard, I might have to, because obviously you have to finish first in all these cups in order to unlock a special cup. But if I can, I'd like to try to avoid using the rewind feature. So that's what we're gonna do. Also, I should be discussing things with people, because or not with people, but discussing topics that people recommended, because what I mentioned is that obviously, since I can't read anyone's comments this week, because obviously I'm recording these all week in advance, so I won't be able to see, I won't be able to take suggestions from comments until next week's episodes. What I'm planning on doing for this week's episodes is just, oh god, I don't know what the hell happened with that mushroom there. It's just kind of finish up what I didn't get to do last time, as in like all the topics that were not answered or were not addressed in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I'm gonna try to cover here. So that's kind of the game plan. And the first the first topic that I want to cover is someone asked, what are some games that I used to love and now I hate, and what are some games I used to hate and now I love? And I think that I'm gonna answer the latter one first because I think it's easier to answer. Can this mole, oh, is this mole just my friend now? Like, is this just gonna ride on my car the whole time? Are you not gonna get off my car? Are you just gonna stay there? What, why are you, is this bugged? Okay, never mind, I guess he's gone. That was weird. Okay. You just decided to jump on my car for a little bit there. I guess maybe he needed a lift. Maybe he thought I was a taxi car. He just needed a lift to the other part of the course or whatever. I don't know. That was bizarre. I did not know that Monty Moles could jump onto your freaking car in this game and like ride you around. That was not something I expected. I'm gonna answer the latter one first, which is a game I used to hate is, and you may not believe me when I say it, but Halo Wars. I used to hate Halo Wars. Not for any justifiable reason, mind you, because I told the story before. Basically, when I first played it, I was like, "Oh, this isn't an FPS. Halos should be an FPS. Well, I don't know what this is. This isn't right at all." And then I discarded it and never played it again. Never played it again for a while. But years later, I finally decided, you know what? I'm gonna give this game a shot, just because I'm older now. I've matured. I don't want to dismiss it just because it's not an FPS. I wanted to give it a fair shot, and I really loved it when I actually gave the game a chance and didn't just dismiss it at the notion of it's not an FPS, therefore it's bad. I really ended up enjoying it a lot. It was my first kind of exposure to what an RTS was, like what a real-time strategy game consisted of, and I really enjoyed it. Way more than I ever thought I was going to. Definitely was pleasantly surprised by Halo Wars when I played through it, when I finally gave it a chance after being so hard on it. Because for years I just said Halo Wars wasn't a real Halo game. I was very pretentious and gatekeepy when I said that. It's like, oh, it's not a real Halo game. I don't like saying that. It's like, if it has Halo in the name, it's a Halo game. It may be a spin-off Halo game, but it's still a Halo game. But there was a point when I was like, Halo Wars isn't a real Halo game, when I was much younger. Like back when I was in middle school, I used to say that, and it's like, I look back at myself and I'm just like, why did you say that? But I guess it's a sign of growth when you can look back on your past, look back on who you used to be and be like, wow, I was a very cringy human being. Because that means you've grown. That means you've grown as a person. Because I like to think of it like whether it's an artist looking at their older work or whether it's just a person looking at how they used to behave. If you can look at your past self and look at how, say, like, hey, this old stuff is crap, or the way I used to act is not good, then it means you've grown as a person, which is, I think that's something to, okay, let's not go that way. It's, so something to strive for, I guess, to be able to look back and say, to see how much you've grown. Anyway, getting sidetracked. Point being, I finally gave Halo Wars a shot, and I ended up really enjoying it. So that's an example of a game I used to hate, but now I love. I really enjoy Halo Wars, actually. But inversely, game I used to love and now I hate. Don't really have an example of that at the top. Well, we're gonna pretend that didn't happen. I guess I technically do. I wouldn't say it's a game I used to love, but Danganronpa technically counts, right? Because you can go back and watch my original LP of the first two games. I had a really good time with those first two games. I mean, they weren't flawless. I certainly had my criticisms of them, but I really did enjoy myself when I played those games. I mean, you can hear it. You can hear me having a generally good time. And even if the endings kind of fell apart at the seams, I would still say overall, first game's probably like a 7 out of 10. Second game's probably an 8 out of 10. I'll say soft 8 out of 10. Maybe closer to a 7. I don't know. But point being, I think they're still both good games overall. The problem is that playing Danganronpa 3, what the hell was that? I don't understand the red shells tracking this game. Sometimes they home, sometimes they home, and sometimes they don't. And I don't know, that thing like teleported around all over the place for it actually homed in on them. It's weird. Red shells are weird in this game. Then again, I guess there's a lot of things that are weird in this game, so make of that what you will. But yeah, I used to maybe, I didn't used to love the original two games, but I at least enjoyed the original two games. So just to kind of see how far it fell, and to see what Danganronpa 3 did to it, to see what, well, Danganronpa 3 kind of wasted all the story arcs, but it didn't make them irrelevant. V3 just made them irrelevant by being like, lol, it was all a TV show. So, yeah, playing V3 has made me, it's kind of the same thing with the MCU, where it's like, Loki is now established that no one in the original Infinity Saga, the original 3 phases of the MCU, ever made a choice of their own volition, because free will never existed, because it was all scripted out by Kang, or whatever. Didn't want to do that. So it's just like, the very obvious question is, okay, so why would I care about a world where no one ever made a choice for themselves, kind of thing? It's really, really, it sucks, because like, I didn't want to go that way. I did really used to enjoy the original 3 phases of the Infinity Saga. Like, I really did care a lot about the Avengers and all their story arcs and seeing them all reach a proper resolution. Now, granted, I wasn't until late in the game when Forget From 45 basically made me sit down and watch all of them prior to her taking me to go see Endgame. But I still cared about the characters when I watched. Like, I basically, okay, can I please get across this gap for the love of God? I may have consumed them all in the course of, like, a few days as opposed to a few years like most people, but I still came to care about the characters. I basically just condensed the year's worth of content consumption into a few days as opposed to most people, and I still cared a lot about the characters, but now I just can't anymore, because I know, like, if I ever watch, like, I'll never watch the original movies ever again, because I'll always have the lingering thought in the back of my head that none of it matters because it's all been pre-scripted by Kang. So it just sucks that's how far we've fallen. Same thing with V3. V3 has recontextualized the entirety of the MCU to be nothing but a, well, nothing but a TV show, essentially. Which raises the obvious question of why would I care about a world where it was all just fake? So, yeah, that's my... Those are my go-to examples for game I used to hate but now I love, and game I used to love but now I hate. Even though I don't really think Danganronpa constitutes the category of I used to love it, because I never loved Danganronpa. I enjoyed the first 2 games. I never loved Danganronpa. Like, it wasn't a thing like Ace Attorney where I just immediately fell in love with the gameplay and the story and the characters. Danganronpa was always the thing where it's like, I mean, I guess I always loved the characters. Well, some of the characters, but the stories were always all over the place, with one exception in the first game and second game. But really, I guess it was just overall the experience of getting to bond with all the characters, because really, for the most part, once the actual investigation stuff began in the first 2 games, I just kind of... I solved the mysteries so quickly that I just lost interest, and I was just waiting for the game to play catch-up. Because with Ace Attorney, even if I solved a lot of things earlier, there was always that one little plot thread that was left over that I had yet to discover and was able to deduce later when the game wants you to. So there was always something left for me to discover. But with Danganronpa, I was always just like, okay, well, that's how this happened, that's how that happened. Game over. Moving on now. So I just kept playing catch-up, and it was very annoying waiting for the game to catch up to where I was in the story, essentially. Except for V3 Chapter 1, where I literally could not have predicted how that was going to end, because there was no goddamn way in the world for me to think that... Like, I was adhering to the laws of science and laws of physics when I played that chapter. I didn't realize they were gonna break reality to make that happen. So, I place no blame on myself for not being able to deduce the final plot twist there. But yeah, that's basically... That's basically why I would say I enjoy the first 2 games. I never love the first 2 games, but it's harder to think of an example of a game I used to love and now I hate than it is to think of an example of a game I used to hate but now I love. That's much easier. Well, I guess I could also say like the SpongeBob SquarePants movie game for that, because when I was a kid I thought that game was great, but now I've matured, and now that I'm an adult and I can go back and play it, and I'm like, oh, this game is not good at all. It lazily copied the movement engine over from Battle for Bikini Bottom, just with worse level design, worse atmosphere, maybe not worse music. I mean, it's not better music, but it's not, like, horrible music, I guess. It's just a worse version of Battle for Bikini Bottom, with none of the charm that makes that game great, but the same movement, so I guess that would constitute, because I loved it as a kid, but now as an adult, I can see all the failings in its design. So I guess those would be my examples there. And yeah, the plan for this week is going to just be to cover all the topics that I didn't get to cover when I originally did my Mario Kart 8 Let's Play. And then next week, I'll be able to read all the comments for these first 5 videos and then incorporate all those new topics you guys suggest into the next episode. So that's the game plan moving forward. Also, we didn't do too bad there. We finished, granted, with the use of the rewind feature, but we finished first each time. That's not too bad. I mean, granted, again, without the rewind feature, we would have fallen flat on our faces multiple times. But hey, you know what? I'll take it. I'll take it. I think that was a solid first attempt. Or first attempt. Considering I've just started playing the game today. Well, yesterday for you guys, today for me. I think I'm doing all right. I think all things considered, we're not doing too bad. And yeah, the game's a little rough on the edges, but it's not horrible. I'm having a good time for the most part. All right, so that'll be it for now. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for next time, and hope to catch you all tomorrow for some more Super Mario Kart. Goodbye.